Hi Libra, this is your homework family reading for August 1st through the 15th through the Lionsgate energy. I know a lot of you might just fast forward through the bell. I'm waiting until I hear a specific frequency, or I can't fully explain it. It's a feeling I know when it's been cleared, the energy has, so that we can move forward. Making sure that extra negativity isn't kind of lingering around, and I can only bring you the most positive information that's possible. Okay, that's why everybody calls me Bells, because I wear bells all the time. Anyway, this is for Libra, all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for August 1st through the 15th. First off, now obviously I'm not connecting with every Libra, but some of you are having some issues that is dealing with what I'm channeling from Spirit, and what Spirit's saying is some repressed energy or repressed anger that might be dealing with how you feel powerful or powerless, more or less. And I'm feeling it directly in the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. So it's that creative energy. It's how you feel about yourself. It's emotional energy or emotional baggage that's creative, that's moving into the solar plexus, speaking to what you strive for, what you strive to be. That moves from the I feel into the I can energy. That's where your power is. It's your self-esteem, where it moves from, the solar plexus does. And I'm feeling a lot of repressed energy. Well, in fact, Spirit's plain and simply saying, for some of you, you are definitely dealing with some issues within that sacral and solar plexus because of repressed energy. And a lot of it has to do with speaking outwardly. What you're speaking outwardly is, or what you're not maybe speaking outwardly, which is causing the problem. You might have fear of speaking your truth, because Spirit also gives me, when I was first channeling and asking about Libra before this information that they just gave, Spirit literally gave me the mouth. First off, they gave me the mouth, just the mouth, and then they showed me teeth. And then they turned around and they pulled it back, and it was like a person eating, and they were still showing me the mouth. But what they're saying is, it can be one of two things, and this may be two separate readings in different ways. It's just the way that Spirit gives me the information. I'm giving it to you. Like I said, it may go all the way across the board for you. It may be pieces. So run with it if it works with you. Some of it is you're consuming the energy that's keeping you in the same spot. Whether it's because you're actually eating it like food, or consuming it and breathing it in. Because, like I said, they're showing me somebody eating. But they're also saying to me a lot of this has to do with how you express yourself. And are you expressing yourself? Because they're also showing me the teeth. See, and this just happened. I think it may be for two separate individual groups of Libras. And then it may kind of just run all the way through for some of you. Because the teeth is, I see it like as a warning. Not a warning like somebody's warning you, but like, why aren't you putting out the warning? Why aren't you putting out the warning signs? Libras, you guys are good at wanting to create balance, and you'll settle because you want to make the balance. You're trying to make harmony the best you can, and you put yourselves last a lot. And I feel like what they're saying is you're just sucking in the energy of all the crap around you, trying to create balance. And I say this all the time, especially for you Libras. Sometimes you're not meant to create balance. And Libras really have a hard time with that because they want so badly for things to be in harmony that they will go out of their way to try to create it when you're not meant to. And that will actually keep you from moving forward. Because like I said, they keep giving me teeth. Like, why aren't you showing your teeth? That doesn't mean that you have to start the fight. But that doesn't mean you have to be the one, because they're saying, no, it's not necessarily that you have to start it or that you have to finish it, but that you're capable of being part of it. You're capable of showing your teeth and going, no, this is not how this is going to be. More or less. This is giving the warning sign outwardly. Stop consuming the negative or the energies that maybe, I say all the times, we get stuck in patterns. We don't realize we create patterns. We put ourselves in our life in patterns that, patterns or addictions that have over time become a regular pattern. And I'm going to use like your work environment. If your work environment has got a lot of negative people in it, you may not necessarily be in a position where you can quit, but you can choose who you're going to hang out with. You can choose who you're going to continue to talk to and be buddies with. And this is what I mean by consuming the negative. If it's going against what vibrates for you, don't cater to it. Show your teeth. Show that you're capable of changing that energy. Because Spirit also gives me, it's a terrier dog. It's Toto from like The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy's dog. They give me that specific kind of dog because that dog stands for being independent, being very active and hard working, being something that is being that dog's energy stands for being being of independence, being very active, hardworking, and something or someone that you can rely upon. And what I am getting is more of feeling helpless, useless, powerless, because of a repressed energy that you're holding on to. You feel like you're stuck in something you can't do anything about, is what I feel like for many of you. And this is why they're saying, in many cases, that you need to, show your teeth. You need to be willing not to necessarily fight or end the fight, but to show you will stand up for what you want, what you desire, what resonates with you, and you're not just going to go willy-nilly with the flow. Just because somebody else said so, or that's what they want. This is your life. You don't have to feel helpless, is what Spirit is saying. You don't have to feel helpless. And in some of these cases, you don't know better on how to not allow that to become a situation for you. Is there anything else? I'm sorry, I'm grabbing one of my notes for a minute. Yeah, you're going to be acknowledging things, spiritual urges, physical growth situations that are going to actually help you unblock situations within that solar plexus, because it's going to make you want to do something that you're going to want to do, urges that are going to come up, something that's going to be, it's a form of spiritual growth is what they're saying. And when you start acknowledging these are the things that you feel and you desire and you want to do, but you're questioning if you should, they're saying to do so. They're more or less urges that are being sent to you from your higher self to help you move yourself in that proper direction so that you can change the situations in your life for what you truly want and desire to have happen, how you would like to create your reality, is what I'm being given. Now, for astrology, because that was everything that Spirit had to say. For astrology, from the 1st to the 15th, yes, you have the Lionsgate on August 8th. And This is definitely a very powerful Lion's Gate. Everything about this energy is talking about, it seems like, for no matter what chart I'm looking at or anything, everything about this energy is about getting to our inner emotional security. But by understanding the only way we're ever going to find our inner emotional security is by really connecting with our creative nature, with what we want to do, what we desire to do. It's with our pursuit of pleasure and what brings us joy. And if we're not connecting or giving ourselves the proper time to allow that creative energy to rise, because we're not giving ourselves the time to have that joy in our life, then we won't find our inner emotional security, and we alone are responsible for that. Now, with that being said, I mean, it's a lot of you are having is the repressed energy, whether it's anger or whatever, is actually point blank. It's a fear. You're afraid, in many cases, to do something. You're afraid to either stand up for yourself. You're afraid to speak your truth in some area. You're afraid to take the action that will make the change. And they're telling you, you must get over that. You must actually do what it is that you're thinking or wishing you could do. Because Spirit just pulled me back to say that it's a fear that might be keeping you from moving forward in many of the cases for many of the Libras. The Lion's Gate is to help you see this energy at this time, because that's what this energy is in this Lion's Gate. Everything about it, and this has everything to do with setting the examples of what you wish to create for the next 6 months, because I promise you, if you haven't created, or at least you're not in the direction of creating that emotional security and creating that enjoyment within your life, if you're creating it incorrectly, it's going to collapse on you come the beginning of next year. So this is a very powerful time. This is not a time to let fear take you from doing what you want, because it will backfire. On 8/8 is the Lion's Gate. It will be in Sagittarius in the evening. However, the 2 days prior to it and the morning of the Lion's Gate on the 8th, July 8th, August 8th, sorry. On the morning of August 8th and the 6th and the 7th, the moon is traveling through Scorpio. And this is going to be an incredibly intense time right before this energy, because the moon in Scorpio is all about intensity. If you are brand new in a love affair, then you're all like, oh yay, and everything is perfect and woohoo. But if somebody betrayed you, you are like feeling it to the nines, and anger and resentment and and everything. So no matter what your emotions are, on those 2 days prior to that, those are going to be setting trigger points of making you realize what does and what does not make you happy, and you need to truly acknowledge that and do not lie to yourself about it. Because those sensitivities are there for a reason. This energy is no joke. There's no reason, no pretending that it's just a coincidence. No, trust me. These energies that are going to take place prior to the Lion's Gate, with that energy being in Scorpio, is like super detective, intense, viewing things from all angles with a brand new birth, death, and rebirth. This is a time of fertility, a time of, seeding what you wish to create. And these intensities that are going to pop up those 2 days prior, especially, are going to be red flags of making sure you're going in the right way, or you're acknowledging that you are going in the wrong way. Now, on the 11th, you have Mercury, which is moving back into Leo, and Leo has bases loaded. I'll hit the astrology in just a minute, but Mercury will be moving back into Leo. It will still be in shadow a little bit, so don't forget, you're still dealing with shadow energies up until, I would say typically until about the 15th anyway. You're kind of dealing with Mercury's shadow energies. Kind of communication might be a little bit on the dark side. Jupiter goes direct on the 11th, and Uranus goes retrograde on the 11th. So that's going to be another powerfully sensitive day for empaths and sensitives in general, because I mean, you've got Mercury switching signs. One planet is switching its direction. Another planet is switching its direction. Plus, you just had the Lion's Gate. All of that energy is just going to be like a kettle about to boil over. It's very much going to be very just building. And it can be positive, it can be negative. That really just depends on where you are and what you're listening to of your own higher self. You have the full moon that takes place on the 15th, and it will be going from Aquarius into Pisces. Now, Libra, let me look at your stuff here. You are going to find things about your everyday mundane tasks. Those 2 days before the Lion's Gate, on the 6th and the 7th, when the moon is in Scorpio. It's going to be speaking to your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, but it's going to be picking parts apart of those everyday mundane tasks within your within your 11th house. It's going to be speaking to those mundane tasks, and where are your friends, your groups, your community, your memberships fitting in and supporting or not supporting your hopes, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your self-realization, and where you truly want to be and go in this world. It's going to be showing itself as in, who are these people that really support you or don't? And then, are you allowing yourself to be put last because you're more supporting their dreams, their goals, their wishes, their ambitions? And is it becoming an addiction, or has it already been an addiction, within these everyday tasks, that you're not taking on that responsibility of your own self-worth, self-value, self-esteem? It's definitely going to show itself on those 2 days. Now, you also have, let me move out of that energy, get to something that's more lasting all month. Your 3rd house, which is your communication, is going to be getting along well, though, all month with your Leo energy, which happens to be that 11th house as well. I'm just making sure, because the way it looks like it is on here. So your communication is coming out if you choose to speak it. Your communication is that 3rd house. It is your short journeys. It is your short messages. It can be transportation. It can be the text messages, the phone calls, the gossip. It can be emails, but it can also be siblings and neighbors, something that's very close to you. And it can definitely be getting along very well at this time with that 11th house. So it's about making sure that you are placing yourself with the people that are supporting you over this next month, not with the ones that are not, that are supporting with those. Home is wanting to come out of my mouth, and even though it's not in here, when I get stopped by spirit, I just speak it. So if it's supporting your home, and who, the home of whom and what you are, probably is what they mean, but it may be the home itself. If it's supporting your home and all of your energy, along with your wishes, your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your friends, your community is the community that you should be having in your life. This, if it is, then it's very supportive. If it is not, then it's going to show you that you are not having the right people in your life, more or less, because it is a harmonious energy right now. It should be helping you with figuring out your own self-realization to trigger you into the direction that is best serving for you. Now, that communication, though, is not getting along with. It's not getting along with your 6th house, which is your mundane tasks. Same kind of conversation we were just having, shifted a little bit. It's not getting along with your daily mundane tasks, with your daily work, your service, your diet, your health, your hygiene. It is your daily routine. Is there parts of this routine that you have created over time that no longer serve you, but you're not seeing that it doesn't serve you? And like I said, a lot of times, this is things where we've put out love for someone else, and while we've done that love for someone else, we've helped this person, we've done this, we've done that, and then there's only so much time in 24 hours of a day, and before you know it, you didn't have any time for you. Are you getting the proper healthy energy coming to you, or even communicating with your own self within these relationships? Are you being able to help yourself in these areas? Because that is going straight across to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, to your honor, your prestige, your professional career, your financial success, your financial and social, because of it being your career foundations, your career success, your career foundations, the social foundations within that. It is the outer community of those responsibilities within our life. It also takes on the politics and authority, our very duty within life, the things that we must do. Are you doing the things that you must do? Are you doing what everybody else has told you you must do? Okay, because your mundane tasks are getting along well with this energy. However, this energy is Venus, so it's speaking to you about sensitivity, and with Neptune, you can take that magic any way you want it. I mean, you can create whatever you want with it, but it's bouncing back to the communication coming from you, and the moon being in Sagittarius. No, well, the moon will be passing through. It'll be Ceres and Jupiter being in Sagittarius, which is that universal third house. You are learning to communicate right now for you in a whole new way. You are learning to communicate things that you maybe aren't used to being able to communicate. Ceres is too close to home. She's the threefold theory. She's karma, returning. She's also speaks to your nurturing. Are you nurturing your life the way that you wish for it to be created? Or are you nurturing it according to what everybody else has told you you need to be nurturing it? This is really what you're going to be seeing. Are you nurturing it according to the way everybody else has told you it should be done, when actually it may be more of done for them, versus what you need to nurture to make you happy, as well as your own inner emotional security. Because if you aren't addressing what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what you're able to express and create within yourself, and bring that back to your solar plexus and your sacral chakra, then you aren't bringing that healing in, because it's why Spirit put it to me in the very first place, and stepping over your fears about what it is you're speaking. Because they're reminding me again, this has everything to do with being creative about expressing how you feel about yourself. Because as you figure out how to do that during this time, then you are going to come into a brand new power of yourself, because you're coming into a new way of communicating. Maybe a more powerful way within yourself of being able to communicate than what you've known before. What does Libra need? They've been pulling up past lives a lot for me during this setting of this 2-week period. And this is from a past life deck. Now, I don't use the past life deck in the way of actually being past lives. It may be past lives, but it may be just the way you're feeling. Because there are things in this deck that speak directly of situations that the rest of the decks do not. So I pull it out because sometimes there's a specific situation that they're speaking of. What they are first giving me of is father. So this could be either you're dealing with some father or masculine issues, something that you might be having trouble with from a father figure point of view, or a masculine energy. But this could be masculine energy in general. This masculine energy is power, passion, action, aggression, fire energy. And being able to take action, being able to act. It can be aggressive, like I said, but masculine energy is all about action. So I really feel like for most of you, this is about action. And if you don't take action, is what I feel like Spirit is saying, is you will be pushed back. Many of you feel, or in the past life, this is monk or nun. So what I'm getting from this energy is, if you don't take the action, if you don't deal with what the block is, the masculine energy in one form or another, or it may just be father issues, or for women it may be a spouse, like the husband. If it's a male issue, if you're letting their masculinity rule your life, you may be feeling like the monk or the nun. You may be feeling, like you've taken a vow of silence, so to speak. And even if you were in a past life a monk or a nun, that doesn't mean that you are meant to be perfect. Okay? That's what I'm getting from this energy. Nobody's perfect. And whatever you did in a past life, or maybe even up until now, up until now is still past life, because you're dealing with the now. I'm going to ask about this in just a second, but with monk or nun coming up, I feel like you are trying to keep vows, not break vows that you've made. And you're holding on to, you're not acting according to what you want, you desire, you need, your passion, your action, your aggression, and I also put masculine energy with sexual energy, because it speaks about how you feel about yourself. I feel like the monk or the nun standing here is taking a vow of silence, because they're standing to a vow that they made. Like I promise that this is what I will do. But now you're finding that's not what's satisfying you. And I feel like it's time for you to take action. And you're keeping yourself from moving forward in some of these cases. Please tell me why monk or nun is here. Is there a reason that will help clarify monk or nun for Libras? And don't give me any orphan is what comes up. You feel like if you leave, or if you change your mind, if you break this vow, that you're going to be left out in the cold. But you're never going to be left out in the cold. The only way you're out in the cold is if you believe it. You are never disconnected from the oneness. The only time you're disconnected from the oneness is when you aren't in a high enough vibration of understanding that you are part of that love. You are part of that unconditional love. People forgive more than you realize. People do have problems necessarily letting someone back in. I will not deny that. But they do try to forgive so that they can heal themselves. But this is about not feeling alone. And part of this taking this vow and not letting go of it and holding on to it and not taking the action is because of that being the fear. You feel like you'll be the orphan, you'll be left out in the cold. Is there anything else here that Libra needs? Because I feel it. Is it? But I disagree. They're giving me medicine man or woman. And the reason I disagree is because if you aren't one who believes in that energy necessarily, then of that energy and that kind of healing, then this isn't going to work for you. But I feel like what they're really trying to tell me, because you heard me say I disagree, is they're saying you need to find your own inner medicine man. This is finding your own power, your own strength, your own courage, overcoming your own fears, and moving you forward. That once you connect with that energy, your own personal inner medicine man or medicine woman, it will help you. Which one was it? Because you all flipped, and I don't think you are all for them. No. Yes. I don't even know how I'm supposed to use that. For some of you, I'm being given biblical. And what they're telling me at this time, if I'm to use biblical in an open reading for everybody, is this is ancient fears, ancient creations. This is way down deep in that 12th house. These are things that you've held on to for a long time of belief within, thinking that you can't change your ways because you'll be left alone. You'll be left in the cold, and you don't take these proper actions to move forward. And it's because you're not connecting with that inner medicine man, because deep down, it's so ancient in your mind that you don't even realize that you're not connecting, that you're not bringing that forward, because they're saying you will never be left alone. You will always have what you need. You will always be able to move forward. You will never starve. You will never be in the same position that you're in now if you take the action. If you take the action and you believe in yourself to move forward, these same things that keep coming back that make you have this fear, this is exactly why they're giving me the food and hunger. If you feel like you'll be left out, you feel like you'll be without, they're bringing me back to this because of the biblical. If you change the way that you are doing it, you start to acknowledge where actually in some cases you've brought harm to yourself, then you'll start to move forward. But if you don't, you'll be in the same cycle over and over again, so you still wouldn't have changed it. But this is how you'll move out of that cycle. This is listening to the soul wisdom, having faith within yourself. I mean, it's a unicorn, for crying out loud. Okay? Is there anything else? What was I just saying? Find your inner high priestess. Find your inner high priestess. Do what you've got to do. Do some meditation. Take some you time. Get out into the forest. Get away from the world. Listen to your higher self. It will help you make the decisions that you know you need to be making. And get past the fear of worrying about what might happen if you make the wrong ones. Because it seems like a lot of what stands in your way is you. But you don't realize it's you. And therefore, you keep holding on to the wrong things. When deep down you desire so much more and you're not getting it because you're not having the courage to go after it, is what it sounds like. And they're trying to tell you how to break the chain. What else does Libra need to know? Abundance. 3 of abundance. This can be a time of celebration. This can be a time of rebirthing. This can be Mercury speaking with your Cancer, with Cancer in general. Let's see, where does that stand for you? Because on the universal house, Cancer is inner emotional security. It's that universal 4th house. But for you directly, well, where is Cancer? It's that 10th house. This is speaking to your prestige, your career. It could be this could be finding security within that outer community, within that career, within that financial abundance, finding celebrations and things that are moving forward in a positive way within these energies. But it's also coming from how you have you're getting it because you have inner emotional security. This is trusting within your emotional depths, trusting within yourself. This is she's the Queen of Cups. She's a natural healer, a natural intuitive. Listen to yourself. She develops and relates to the very energies of the unknown. You already know what you feel. You already know what you think. You already know what your depths are. But are you admitting them? This is more or less telling you to get in touch with yourself so that you can create this energy. So that you can see for sure what this energy is. But this is a third party also, because this is celebrations and so forth. So there may be somebody else that is also there to help you to get to that energy, and you need to acknowledge who that is. Then we have the Queen of Discs, which is talking about you finding your inner emotional security, but bringing it into tangible reality. It goes with this. It can be mothering, it can be nurturing and energy. It can be a Capricorn, but with it can be a Capricorn, but with it being the goat being here, it reminds me also of an Aries energy. So it may be a brand new beginning, that's coming your way as well. She is also Cancer again, speaking to you of that inner emotional security and possibly the prestige, because she's Queen of Discs, which is Pentacles. So this is being able to actually breathe tangible reality into this abundance, into this happiness, into this Three of Cups, this celebration, because you listened to yourself, because you got in touch with what you truly want and desire. You were able to bring this forward. But only if you listen to truly what deep down your soul is desiring for you to bring out and be able to communicate, will it be able to be brought forward. This is the universe. It is the time to end the cycle, so a brand new cycle can begin. But you're only going to bring it with the Prince of Wands. This is a fire energy. It can be a Leo, it can be a Sagittarius, and it can be a Aries. But this is a turning point. This is a point of change. This is finding the enthusiasm, the drive, and the confidence to make the change. This is strength through honesty. This is the solar fires, your inner fires, and your intellect of your inner storm coming forward to lead you into this universal change. This is the end of a cycle and a brand new beginning. It also speaks to you of the completion of something, finishing what was started a long time ago. It is the final stamp or the center point of the very change. It is the cross and it is the mark. Like when you're treasure hunting and you have, the X marks the spot. X marks the spot. Okay, that's what I'm being given. This is the time to take this change. And I said this: if you're not going after what you want, it's going to show you how you screwed up in 6 months. I promise. This is time for you to be your own emperor, and claim the victory. The only thing standing in your way, it seems like, is you. Or that could be. It doesn't even mean that you are standing in your way. It's just giving you what it seems like is all the possibilities here. What is the challenge? I think I pulled that too fast. What is the challenge? What is their biggest challenge for the 1st through the 15th? Yeah, you came right back out. Your biggest challenge is, it is the Chariot of Earth. This is grounding manifestation. This is growth. This is growing with a purpose, but you're worried because this is the Eight of Pentacles. This means you're already in your worry. You're already in making things worse than they need to be. You're letting your head rule your thinking. You are worried about your inner security, being overwhelmed, not sure what to do. This could be an earth sign. This could be a Virgo, Taurus, a Capricorn standing here that's causing this energy for you. Because it is coming into this grounded energy of finding your purpose. You're worried that you won't find your purpose, and what I'm getting is the Lovers. This is the challenge. You're afraid by connecting to yourself or connecting with the true lover of your life. Is one of the two. This is, you're afraid to move forward, manifest that growth because of all of this over anxiety and worry and doubt of what may come of it, because you're having to face the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is, like I said, this could be returning to yourself. The Lovers in Hebrew speaks to the returning of the light to the crown. It is the sword. It speaks to you of cutting away what does not nourish you so that you can get the nourishment you need. It speaks to you of what rectifies the situation. It speaks to you of this, of like the wand. The wand that connects you to your higher self. The Lovers often is coming home, coming back to self. But this could be a twin flame situation or a soulmate situation as well, because this may be returning to a twin flame that it didn't work with in the beginning, and a lot of twin flames do that. You have to leave it first. Soulmates sometimes aren't always on the right page either. This may be speaking to you of coming back to yourself, coming truthfully back to yourself, loving yourself, acknowledging yourself, giving yourself what you need, but you have to get past these two things. Or it's coming back to the relationship that you know you always needed. And getting right with the relationship, but you're afraid. Is there anything else here? This is the time for a brand new beginning with brand new clarity. And you'll never get that clarity if you don't open your mouth and speak. If you're not able to go after the clarity and speak about what it is that needs to be said, you'll never come forward. Because the next one is trial and error. You make mistakes and you move forward. This is Six of Swords, and this is another thinking card. This is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. This is in your area. This is asking you, it may be a time to be starting to make things better. You learn from your mistakes, learning through your experiences. With the Ace of Swords, from the experience you've learned, it's time to start a brand new beginning. I think it seems like it's a very good start for you. It's all about you believing in you. I love you guys, and I'll see you for the second part of August. Also, if you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, share them, and if you are interested in your own personal, getting private bookings of any kind, just look at the information down below, and it will take you to my website. Love you. Bye.